Okay, hello everyone. Welcome to the lecture. In this lecture, we are going to discuss about ERP. The ERP is called as Enterprise Resource Planning. The practice of consolidating an enterprise planning manufacturing efforts into one management system. For example, if we are doing the production or if we are doing the manufacturing, there we have many operations. Those are all operations we combined and we consolidated, and we prepared one database that is called as the management system. The management system is called as enterprise resource planning. Here we combine the all databases across departments into a single database that can be accessed by all employees. For example, if we take our attendance policy in our college, every class and every section they are going to save on the database. We collected together and we entered into the portal. If anyone needs to if anyone want to know about your attendance, means simply they are going to log in on the system and they can avail your information, your attendance. Those things are available on our database, college database. Likewise, here also in ERP also we are giving the total database information into we are maintaining the database and we are giving the total information into the database that can be accessible to the all employees. Next, coming to the evaluation of enterprise resource planning. In this evaluation of enterprise resource planning, in 1960s, the software package was introduced to that inventory control. In 1970s, MRP system was introduced, which was useful to productive schedule with materials management. In 1980s, MRP2 system was introduced. For this MRP, we are adding the financial accounting system and we give the name to the MRP2. In 1990s, MRP2 again it was modified, and here we are introducing integrated system for manufacturing execution. And late 1990s, ERP was developed. Here we are adding integrated manufacturing with supply chain to that earlier processes. Then coming to the major reasons for adapting ERP. Here we are adapting the ERP to that production or manufacturing units to integrate the financial information. Here with help of this ERP, we can maintain the database for all sessions, which includes financial information. Here we are free defining the budget of that product, or we are giving the information about the raw material cost, and we are giving the information about that resource planning. Those are all things we are giving in this ERP itself. Next, integrated customer order information. In this, the sales information we are providing to that manufacturer based on the forecasting or based on the sales of market. And here next, standardized and speed up operation process. The ERP was useful to standardize and speed up the operation processes because of here we are maintaining the total data into the one database. Simply we are monitoring and simply we watch the data, and we can implement that by sources. Next, reduce inventory. Here all informations are available in one database, so that the reason we haven't maintained many records to that process purpose. So here we can maintain the less inventory. We are using the less inventory. Then the standardize the human resource information. Here also we are giving the total information about that manpower and management. Those are all things we can define in this process. Next, coming to the how do ERP system work. Here I would like to explain this ERP system working process by taking the line diagram. Here first we are taking the customers, sales force and customers and customers commerce reps we are considering here. Here it is a central database. This central database consists sales and delivery applications, reporting applications, manufacturing applications, inventory and supply chain applications, human resource management applications, service applications. First, coming to the sales and delivery applications. Here in the sales and delivery applications, we are taking the customers are the main resource for this sales and delivery applications. The customers required some data, means the customers required the products, means according to that requirement we are supplying that product to that customers. Here the sales force was collecting the information or was collecting the feedback from the customers, and they transfer that feedback to that manufacturer. According to that feedback, we can modify our designs, or we can introduce the products to that market or consumers. Here with help of the salesmen or other resources, we are providing the delivery to that customers. Those are all informations we maintained in the central database, how we are delivering and how we are selling that item, and those are all informations we maintained in that central database. And reporting applications, it means managers and stakeholders we are taking. Here we are considering the shop floor control information, and we are considering the market up and downs, that is, and we are taking the information about the managers, and we are taking the information about the stakeholders or partners. Those are all informations we maintained here. Next, manufacturing applications. In these manufacturing applications, where it was used and which methods we are using to manufacture that item, and what are the financials are required. Those are all things we incorporated in these manufacturing applications. And also here this manufacturing applications also, we are taking the suppliers back office administratives and workers. These are all things we considered in the manufacturing applications. Next, inventory and supply applications. Here we are maintaining the inventory record for this database. Simple inventory we are using here. No need to maintain huge or complicated inventories for this process. Next, human resource management and applications. This is it was related to the employees for their salaries and for their performance, for their working hours. Those are all things we maintained in this human resource management, and we incorporated this into the central database. Next, service applications. Sometimes we are providing the services to that process. Those are all informations we maintained in the central database. This is about ERP system work line diagram. And next, coming to the components of ERP system. In this finance modules for finance and HR, these two are the components we considered here in the ERP. Coming to the finance, here modules for bookkeeping and making sure the bills are paid on time. These are all informations we maintained here. For example, general ledgers, accounts receivable, accounts payable. These informations we maintained in the ERP. Here the general ledger means simply we are generating the bill to that component or to that item. And accounts receivable means here we are getting the sales fund, or we are getting the after selling amount we get we received through the accounts. Those are all account information we have to maintain. And next, coming to the HR, human resource, it is a software for handling personal related tasks for corporate managers and individual employees. And here we are using the softwares to maintain these corporate managers and individual employees tasks and their personal related informations. It means salaries, working hours, experiences. These are all things we considered here, we maintained here. Examples: HR administration, payroll, self-service, etc. Next, coming to the framework of ERP system. This is a framework of ERP system. Here we are taking the ERP console. For this ERP console, we are collecting the data from various sources, and we are maintaining here. We are maintaining the database here. First, coming to manufacturing, what we are manufacturing, how we are doing the process. Those are all things we maintained here. Next, purchase information we carried. Next, HR or payroll. Next, CRM, accounting, inventory management, sales, vendor management. These are all things we are incorporated in this ERP database. These are all called as the framework of ERP system. Next, coming to the example of ERP. Here, before ERP, we are taking the example. Here it is a this is a without ERP example. Here we have the lot of complications, and we have the lot of confusions are there. First, for example, if we take the customers, they ordered the parts, and here the customers demographic files are there. For when the customers are ordered a item, we have to give some demo to that customers about their products, about their product. Here those demographic files we maintain in the system. Here we are showing the items to that customers, Next, then after coming to the sales department, the sales department to warehouse, we have many things are there. First we are if the customer order the part, means first we have to check the sales. We are going to the sales department and we are collecting the information from the sales department. We check the parts in the warehouse, the part is available or not, we have to check. If the part is available, means we ordered the parts and we give that part to the sales department. This the sales department, they deliver the item to that customer. If no, means the callbacks to the customers, and we simply we tell them to no stock or not in stock, like that. Next, coming to the senders report. In the senders report means accounting, we are maintaining the accounting files and we are collecting the information from the warehouses. Here we are maintaining the accounting files, we are collecting the information from the warehouses and we are collecting the information from the senders, and we are taking the senders report and we are taking the invoice report, and we are taking the vendors information. Those are all things we maintain in the accounting. And also in for the accounting files, we are taking the senders reports, that is purchasing files. Purchasing, we ordered the parts from the warehouse and order is placed with the vendor, and we need parts, some X and Y parts we need, and we are seeing the inventory files. These are all things involved in before ERP. These are all the things we are seen or we observed in the manufacturing unit. Next, coming to the an ERP examples after ERP. Simply here we are using the ERP. So the total database, the total steps we maintain in the database. Simply we are taking the orders from the customers and we send the order to the sales department. The sales department will check their orders in the database. If the order is available, means they send that order to the customers. Otherwise the inventory data, if no part order is placed through the database. If suppose if the no part is available, means the same information they convey to the customers. Simply we are maintaining the database and quickly we give the reply to that customers. Next, accounting, the financial data exchange, books, invoice, next, those are all informations we are maintaining. If suppose if the purchase department they procured or the salesman they sold the item, means simply we are giving the billings to that item. Next, purchasing, order is submitted to purchasing. Purchasing received order in database. Next, warehouse, here we are maintaining the inventory against purchase orders. Vendors, and here we ship the parts to the customers. And invoice, accounting, these are all simply we are incorporating those are all data into the database and we are maintaining the ERP. Next, coming to the potential benefits of ERP. Internal benefits, integration of a single source of data, common data definition, a real-time system, increased productivity, a reduced operating cost, improved internal communication, foundation for future improvement. Here, integration of single source of data means all steps or all things we maintained as a database. In the database we mentioned all the things, so simply we are using the single source to that process. Next, common data definition, for every process simply we are showing the line diagram. According to that we maintain that common data and we are giving the total information into the system. It means simply we can understood that process. Okay, with help of this ERP we can easily increase the productivity and we can reduce the operating cost. Next, coming to the another benefits of ERP, that is the potential benefits. These are the external benefits. Here we can improve the customer service and order fulfillment because of we have the database, so that the reason simply we can deliver the items to the customers or we can accept the orders from the customers. Here it was helpful to improve the customer service. Next, improved communication with suppliers and customers, and next, enhanced competitive position. Next, increased sales and profits. These are the potential benefits of ERP. Next, benefits of ERP, these are the direct benefits of ERP. Here we are improved the efficiency. The efficiency means sales, it may improve the productivity, it may improve and the services may be improved. Next, information integration for better decision making. Here we are giving the information, perfect information to the decision makers about that process. And next, faster response time to customer service or customer queries. If suppose sometimes the customers may ask about the products, simply we are going to search that order or simply we are going to search that query from our database and we can easily reply to them. Next, indirect benefits of ERP. Here, better corporate image, improved customers' goodwill, customer satisfaction. These are the benefits of ERP. Next, potential benefits are reduction of lead time. Uh, the lead time means ordering time and delivering time. Those are all called as the lead times. Here we are reducing that lead time. Then the on-time shipment. Here we are sending the orders to the customers by earlier or quickly. Next, reduction in cycle time, and reduction in cycle time means the process time total, when from raw material to finished goods, the time is called as the cycle time. It's better customer satisfaction, and other are improved supplier performance, increased flexibility, reduction in quality costs, improved resource utility, improved information accuracy and decision making ability. These are the potential benefits of ERP. Next, coming to the difficulties or risks with ERP implementation. First one is expensive. It means for maintaining the database we required some sources. Those are all softwares we required, systems we required. It means it can cost the millions of dollars for procuring that softwares, or procuring that databases, or procuring that resources. Next, time consuming. For initially we are maintaining the data. For that reason, for that we required more time to frame that data. It can take months or years. Next, great risk for the organization. Sometimes we may get some issues in the database. At the time we are going to modify the plan, so that the reason the organization is facing the problems to modify that item, the problems or that plans. It means they require some software knowledge. Then the transfer of knowledge, while we are transferring our knowledge to the database, it is also difficult to be, because here we required software knowledge or coding knowledge to write the programs and acceptance with the company. These are all the risks with ERP implementation. Next, before ERP, after ERP. First, coming to the before ERP, here it is a standalone system. It means here individually the information is available. After ERP, we are together or we are consolidating that information, and we are giving it into the single, that is integrated system. Next, lack of coordination among business functions. It means manufacturing and sales. Here we have the communication gaps are there. But after ERP, support coordination among business functions, and non-integrated data, that is data having different meanings. But in ERP, the data having the same meaning. It is integrated data across the multiple functions. Next, systems are maintained a procedural basis. Based on the steps wise we maintain the process or the system. But here the changes affect multiple functions or systems. Next, redundant data and inconsistent information. Next, common interface across the system. Here difficult to manage in before ERP, but after ERP we can easily manage the process, or easily manage the plans. Next, coming to the modules of ERP. The modules are finance module, material, sales, marketing, personal. These are the modules we are used, and these are all informations we coded and we maintained in the database. Next, coming to the popular ERP models. The popular ERP modules are finance, sales, planning, inventory, operations, HR. These are the popular ERP modules. Next, coming to the finance module. In this, data is collected from various functional departments and generate financial reports, that is ledgers, trial balance sheets, etc. These are all informations we maintained in the database. Next, coming to the second one is human resource module. In this module, routinely maintain a complete employee database, including contact information, salary details, and their performance, their attendance, their promotions. Those are all things we maintain. Next, produce paycheck reports and maintain personal record, training, time and attendance benefits. These are all things we maintain in the human resource module. Next, ERP purchasing module. In this ERP purchasing module is tightly integrated with the inventory control and production planning modules. Here the stock information, the cost of the item, and the process of that item. Those are all things we maintain in this purchasing module. Next one is inventory module. In this inventory module, it facilitates the process of maintaining the appropriate level of stocks in warehouse. Next, implementation approaches of ERP. The big bang, it means install a single ERP system across the entire organization. So for this in this single system we maintain the total data and total information. Next, franchising. Here it is an independent ERP system are installed in different units linked by common process. Examples, bookkeeping. Next, slam dunk, it install one or several ERP modules for phased implementation of key business process. Next, major phases of ERP implementation. It is initiation. First, here we develop the business case, project scope and implementation strategy. For this reason we implement the ERP. Next, planning phase, establish implementation team, determine goals and objectives, establish matrices of that item. Next, analysis and processing design, analyze the improve existing processes, map new processes to be adapted by the system. Next, realization. Here we are install a base system, customization and test the system. Next, transition, replace the formal system with the new system, data conversion. Next, operation, monitor and improve system performance, provide continued training and technical support. Next, major challenges to the enterprise resource planning implementation. Here the enterprise resource planning technical capabilities or limitations of ERP is inconsistent with the existing business process, costs of implementation, that is hardware, software, training, consulting and maintenance. As changes in employee responsibilities. These are all the challenges we have to facing in the enterprise resource planning implementation. Next, flexibility of software system upgrades, implementation timelines. Next, availability of internal technical knowledge and resources, education and training, implementation strategy and execution, or resistance to change. Then new developments in ERP, availability of web-based and wireless ERP system. Next, adoption of easy to install ERP systems. Next, linkage to other software systems. Example, supply chain management system, e-commerce, customers relationship management system. Next one is advantages of ERP. Quicker completion of process, single system, modular software, database, easier to track various tasks, manager globally data. These are the advantages of ERP. Next, disadvantages. Here we have the cost, it means database cost, system cost. Next, time consuming for coding or for maintaining the data, we require some time. Next, training to employees. About that process we have to give the training to the employees. Thank you.